All right, Unique Make Audio, man. I told you I was going to tell you about Raybook and how cold it was in them cells, 20 below zero when you in the hole. When you're in the compound, it's about, 0 degrees or 1 degrees. So don't say I didn't tell you, man. All right, let's get this started.
Hi guys, welcome to Platinum Cuisines. We're located on the North Mile in Freeport.
Tune in to Unique Mecca Audio.
All right, you know what it is. We back, Unique Make Audio again. All right. Now, I'm going to tell you about Raybook. Raybook is a crazy spot, man. I mean, that joint is freezing. But before we go any further, make sure you represent Unique Make Audio. You cop the book of Roaring Harlem, man, at roaringharlem.com. Cop the book of Roaring Harlem at roaringharlem.com. Subscribe at Unique Make Audio TV. Unique Mecca Audio TV. Now, I get the Raybook. They pulled me out the joint. They put me in the shoe. You know what I mean? So I'm in the shoe in Raybrook, and it's freezing in that joint. You know what I mean? Mind you, I told you I'm sitting on the bus, my fingertips frozen. You know what I mean? My hands is like this. I can't even move them. You know, and I'm handcuffed like claws. You know? So just picture that if you youngins trying to go through what I'm talking about. So now they put me in this cold ass cell, and that was one of the worst days of my life. That was like in a frozen hell. You know what I mean? I mean, my body was so cold, I was shaking. My fingers never even defrosted. It was so cold, man. I mean, y'all, listen, I didn't even sleep that night. Every time I laid down, my body was shaking. You know what I mean? It was crazy. But, they kept me in there for the night. And I guess that was just a little test to let me know that they had someplace for my black ass. You know what I mean? Someplace that they felt would break me, And that joint damn near did. Just keeping it 100, because, I ain't going to lie about nothing. I ain't no superhero, no super nigga or nothing like that. But that joint was so cold. I was coming from Lewisburg, coming out the bus. I told you we ran into them where I was banned from Lewisburg. So, as soon as they realized that I was on the compound, they called an emergency, bus ride day before Thanksgiving. And they shot me over there with like 30 other dudes. That's why I told you, dude, I was playing spades with, took his eye out, put it on the table. You know what I mean? Go watch the last video, video before last, where he put on the table to let me know he wasn't cheating because I accused him of cheating, and he done lost his eye. Latin King dude lost his eye in a fight, and I accused him of cheating. He's sitting over here to my right, you know what I mean? And I'm accusing him of looking at my hand with his left eye. You know what I mean? He took the left eye out, put it on the table. You know what I mean? I'm playing, I see an eye looking at me. I told you I went to smack it off. You know what I mean? Scared to death. You can't even fathom what that was like. And it was dark in that little dorm that we was in. But anyway, so I'm in Raybrook. They kept me there overnight, and they put me on the compound. And then, I told y'all yesterday about what happened as far as, how they wound up, threatening and saying they was going to walk me across the compound because, my attitude wasn't where it was supposed to be. You know what I mean? For a Raybrook inmate. But like I always say, and like the men say, we wasn't inmates, we was convicts. Big shout out to, Homicide Lou, you know what I mean? Ferris, you know what I'm saying? Kevin Charles, the men that went through the struggle. D Nice from Brooklyn, my man Shakim, Bio from Queens, you know what I mean? It is what it is, man. So now I'm chilling, and they locked me up and let me out the next day. So the next day I go on the compound and I get on the unit. And when I get in the unit, I'm doing my thing with the little store and all that, doing what I got to do. And it was like crazy because it was so cold in the cells. The cells was big because they built the joint for the Olympics back in like 1980 for, the Olympics in Canada, but it was the United States Olympics. So they had the people that came in was staying at Raybrook, because Raybrook wasn't built for a prison. It was built, for the Olympics. So the rooms was real big. It had like the toilet in the front, then a wall blocking the toilet, and then, the bunk beds in the back of the cell. But if you laying down with your head on, let's say this side of the wall, you can't see the toilet. So if your cellie got to use the bathroom, then he just get up, use the bathroom, and there's a wall separating it. Ain't no other prison like that in the BOP that I know of. If somebody knows something different, call me on it. Call me on any goddamn thing I say you want to call me on. I live this shit. But anyway, so, these big ass rooms was comfortable. was real comfortable, but it was cold. I mean, at night, you know what I mean? The temperature dropped down to like, 20 below zero outside. You know what I'm saying? But they turned the heat up. And the heat didn't go up that much. You know what I mean? Like if the floors might sink a little bit, you know what I mean? From over time, because Raybook, when you come into Raybook, as soon as they let you out the shoe, you know what I mean? It's down there by like the mess hall, the laundry, the Unicor, the commissary, the chaplain, the visiting hall, everything is down bottom. And then you got to look up. And when you look up, that's where the housing units is at. You got to walk up a hill, like you're going up 145th Street in St. Nick from y'all, done been to New York and Harlem. That's why they call up the hill, that's why they call Sugar Hill, the hill, and up the hill, because 8th Avenue is down the bottom and that's up top. That's how it was there. So we gonna call Raybrook like Sugar Hill. You know what I mean? We lived up on Sugar Hill. That's where the house was at. So, but when you come out, you got all the men. You know what I mean? You got everybody there because they know the bus came. So the homies looking for their homies, the enemies looking for their enemies and things like that. So if you come and you ain't straight, they gonna have that knife ready to put up in you. You know what I mean? They gonna have that knife ready to put up in you. If you ain't right and you been telling, so you youngins that say, yeah, if I get caught, I'ma tell, man, ain't no morals, ain't no code, ain't no this, ain't no that. Please don't go to prison. I'm telling you. You know what I mean? I'm telling you don't go to prison. I'm going to tell you don't break the law. If you choose to break the law, if you choose to go to prison, expect to get that knife to be put up in you, because I've seen plenty of young boys and old heads get airlifted for going on compounds where they don't goddamn belong. Now, so when I came, you know what I mean? Of course, they knew I was coming, you know what I mean? So, not at that moment, but once I got there, the homie said, oh, unique here. So once they did that, by dinner time, by lunchtime, everybody came out. They brought little bags of food, cookies, zoom, whams, little sweatsuits, socks, sneakers, and they bring you what they call a care package in the prison. You know what I mean? The homies bring you a care package. So they bring me a care package. And, it was all right, but late on that night at dinner time, my man called me and he's like, yo, come outside. I seen him in the kitchen. He said, meet me at the top in front of Niagara, I got something for you. So when I go up there, he got a brand new pair of sneakers for me, two brand new pair of sneakers, a black pair, a white pair. That's what they were selling on commissary because all they sell is black and white. And then he had two sweatsuits for me, you know what I mean? About 4, 5 t-shirts and underwears. And everything was brand new. You know what I mean? Big shout out to my homie. I ain't gonna say his name because he wound up, being a stand-up man in the first case. But then he came home, got back into hustling, and then got caught up again. And, word is that he telling us. I ain't gonna say his name because I put bones on dudes, but I haven't, officially found out. I'm just hearing from people that he telling. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to say his name, but he did a great gesture when I got there on some man time. But now he telling, so all that is erased. None of that means nothing. I don't care nothing about what he gave me. If he was telling, I wouldn't have took it from him when he gave it to me, period. You know what I mean? But at that time, he wasn't telling. But he blessed me with a nice package. But just letting you know how the morals and the codes go. Once a dude start telling, everything he did before that is wiped out, and now he's a government informant, period. All right? But he looked out. So I got to find out, man. Maybe I really don't want to find out, but I'm going to find out if it's true. But they said he ratting on a new case that he picked up. And so now, he looked out for me. I go back in the unit. I'm chilling. But then don't forget, like I told you, we got caught up. Where they had me on a 2-hour check-in. I'm going back and forth to check in. And they kept saying I wasn't checking in and all that. So now they locked me back up in the hole again. But this time, it wasn't for a night. I stayed back there from maybe January, early February. I stayed about a month. I stayed a month in this joint. This joint was so cold. Now, like I said, the units, was nice. The big cells, they turned the heat up. Even when they turn the heat up, it might be 10 degrees, 15 degrees in the cell at night on the compound. So you sleeping on the compound with a bunch of blankets. You know what I mean? I'm talking about, you buy from the laundry man or somebody to go to hole and, you get the blankets that they had, as long as they folded up and you could tell that they clean. You got the blankets, you took them, you washed them, and, then you throw them on you. So you might sleep under 5 blankets on the compound. That's how cold it is. You know what I mean? I mean, your toes is like, oh, So now that's the compound. But then now when they put you in the shoe, you ain't got nothing. You can't get to no laundry to buy no extra blankets. You can't go buy nothing. All they do is give you a pair of socks. You understand what I'm saying? A pair of socks, pair of underwears, one pair of socks, one underwear, one t-shirt. And then they give you a goddamn jumpsuit to put on. And the jumpsuit they give you is short sleeve. You know what I mean? So picture that. You know what I mean? It's 20 below. And they're giving you a jumpsuit, underwear, socks, and things. So now we got to get creative. So I'm going to show you how we get creative because, I like to bring the, I like to bring the props. You know what I mean? So I'm going to show you. So the first thing we do is, you know what I mean? Like when they come and trade the socks, you tell the police, nah, let me get a pair of socks. And they'll bring you old socks they don't wash and things like that. So you'd be like, nah, I don't want that one. Now let me see that one. And you try and talk real fast and you know what I mean? And while you're talking, your man in the other cell, he'll call the CO, yo, CO. So when the CO turn his head, you grab a pair of socks and you throw it on the floor. And then you grab another pair and you acting like you're doing something and you stealing socks. So you youngins want to go to jail to steal socks, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? To have to wear, and to keep warm. I'm going to show you about keeping warm with socks so you understand how socks is universal. Now, so, yo, give me that pair. Now, that pair dirty. Now, look at this one. And while he's doing all that, you reach your other hand, you grab one. Now, let me get that T-shirt. Now, that T-shirt too small. Let me get a large. And you're trying to steal an extra T-shirt so you can have something extra to put on. Now, let me show you how this thing go. We had to take the socks. Remember, it's 20 below. We had to take the socks. Here go the socks. You understand? We took the socks. You know what I mean? I'm going to show you how we do it. We take the socks and we cut the bottom off. Here you go. I just cut the bottom off my brand new pair of socks for you. Cut the bottom off the sock, right? You cut the bottom off. I learned this in Oklahoma. You cut the bottom of the sock off. You know what I mean? I can't even get it over the ice, but hold up. We're going to get it. You know what I mean? Luckily, we ain't ready because the ice would have froze me more than the ice freezing your eyes. You know what I mean? So you take the socks and you put the socks on. This how we got to do it in the joint, man. Just so you understand. I'm going to do the video so you see, you know what I mean, what it really looked like in the prison. So you take the socks and you put the socks on. You know what I mean? Because mind you, I told you we wearing short sleeve. You know what I mean? So you put the socks on and you walk around in the cell all day with a pair of socks like this. And then now you're trying to read your book. Cop your book of Rowan Harlem, man, at rowanharlem.com. Y'all say y'all mess with me. You know what I mean? Y'all say y'all mess with me. You see the Cash App up there. You can either Cash App me, but definitely cop the book of Rowan Harlem. That's the biggest support right there. So, we get the story out so we get it into the movie. rowanharlem.com. And don't forget, we got the audio book over there too. So now we sitting there, we reading the book. You know what I mean? This is how we reading the book. But then now, it starts getting cold. You see my hands out? But look, I'm wearing socks. You know what I mean? For sleeves. So it starts getting cold. We got a trick for that too. You know what I mean? That's when you get another pair of socks. That's why you got to steal the socks. So now you put the socks on to make the mittens. You see what I'm saying? So this how we spend 24 hours a day locked in the cell. So don't say I didn't tell you. You take the socks and you put the socks on. And nothing, there's nothing. It's just cement, man, and bars. You understand? And then look, so now, this how you got to read the book. Like I said, cop the book of Rowan Harlem and go subscribe at Unique Mecca Audio TV, man. Let's get the numbers up. I'm going to start doing regular daily lives over there so don't interrupt with my stories over here. But this how we sitting here trying to hold the book. And then we trying to turn the page like this, man. This how we trying to grip it's like trying to grip a page. You put a pair of socks on and try and grip a page and turn the page. But it's too goddamn cold for you to take your hands out your sock, lick your fingers, and pull the page back. So you got to sit there and then you get creative. This how we do it. So I got to spin. This how I turn to the next page. But it makes the time go a little faster. You know what I mean? Because it might take 5 minutes to sit there and get that one page, okay? And then you got to do all this, but you don't mind because you're sitting there trying to read. And you ain't sitting up like this. You got the one raggedy blanket they got over your shoulder. I should have brought the blanket. So we sitting there reading the book. This how we looking in the prison, man. You know what I mean? So if y'all want to go through this, y'all go through it. So now we in the joint and it's freezing. So that's how we reading the book. But then now they give you a pair And maybe that's why I hate them. You know what I mean? Maybe that's why I hate them. I'm so hard on them. They give you a pair of damn flip-flops. A pair of flip-flops. You know, them plastic flip-flops. Now, you know what that's like when you take a pair of flip-flops, put them outside, you know what I mean, your door for the night. You know what I mean? So that night air can get in it. And picture 20 degrees, you know, below zero, getting to the flip-flops. So you know they turn frozen. So now they give you some flip-flops. You're on a pair of socks, but your socks you don't turn into mittens. You understand? Because you can take your blanket and put your feet under the blanket, keep your feet warm so you can sacrifice, you know what I mean, using your socks, you know what I mean, for your mittens and your arm warmers. You understand what I'm saying? Just so you understand. That's how bad it is, you know? So they give you these flip-flops and they like some plastic, they some rubber plastics type garbage. You know, them little pink joints. Y'all know what they look like. You've seen them on them prison videos, right? And maybe that's why I hate flip-flops so goddamn much. You know what I mean? But now, imagine having your flip-flops. You're laying down the bed, you got your flip-flops on the floor, you know what I mean? In 20 below zero, in a cement box the size of your closet, not your bathroom, the size of your closet. Now, you're sitting there with this cold ass cell. You understand? Now, the flip-flops, they get hard because the moisture get in it. You know what I mean? Because remember, it's rubber, so it's supposed to give a little bit when you walk. So the moisture get in it, and then the moisture gets frozen and turn to icicles. I know y'all picturing what I'm saying. That's why they tell me that I'm the best storyteller. You know what I mean? That's why I tell them the best storyteller. So then now, we got the joint, right? So I'm sitting there with these flip-flops, and then the floor, you know what I mean? Because, you know, the cell they put me in leaked. You understand what I'm saying? Every time you flush the toilet, water come out on the floor. You understand what I'm saying? Water come out on the floor. And I'm going to keep it 100, man. I'm going to keep it 100 as I always do. The water that come out the floor, you piss in the toilet or you defecate in the toilet and you flush the toilet, you know what I mean? Water leak out, and that's the pee water and the feces water that's spilling out on the floor. You understand what I'm saying? So now you got water on the floor and 20 below zero. So what do you think happened to that? You know what I mean? That joint freeze. You know what I mean? So now you're walking on frozen shit. You understand what I'm saying? To go to the bathroom. Now, picture you laying in the bed and you try to hold your pee. Maybe that's why my prostate bad. Y'all keep praying for me for my prostate, man. You know what I mean? You had to hold your pee because it's so cold. You know what it's like when you outside on the block and you can't find a bathroom and you say, well, I'll get to a bathroom in a minute or whatever, and you holding your pee and, you know, and then after a while, your legs start shaking and you feel like, oh man, I gotta go. And you start, ooh, you know what I mean? That's how I had to lay in the bed in 20 below zero with these on. You know what I mean? Under a blanket, my toes numb. You understand? The floor got ice on it. So if I get up to go to the bathroom, you understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna be walking on ice. You know? So now I gotta put on these flip-flops that don't turn to ice. You know what I mean? Yo, with no socks on, because this is what I'm using them for. I done stole the extra pair of socks so I can put them on my hands. My original pair of socks I'm using for my sleeve to keep my arms warm because they got me in a jumpsuit and I'm under the covers like this. But whenever I take my arms out, they get cold, so I got to wear that. You know what I mean? This is Ray Brook. Welcome to Ray Brook. So now I get up there, I'm holding the pee, and I jump up and, you know, like I said, you know, I jump up to go use the bathroom, and when I go use the bathroom and I put my foot in them slippers, my feet feel like I just touched the, remember that movie, let me give you one. I love giving y'all visuals, man. Remember that movie, A Christmas Story? When dude was playing around the flagpole and he put his tongue on the flagpole and his tongue got stuck to the flagpole. That's what it was like when you put your bare feet in these slippers at 20 below zero, man. Your feet feel like they frozen in this joint. So you gotta put the slippers on, because if not, you're gonna stand on the raw ice. So either stay on the raw ice on the floor or the frozen slippers that's already got icicles on them. But you take the slippers and you hit them, bong. So when you hit the slippers on the ground, bong, the ice shatter off it like you just broke a glass window. That's how cold it was in the cell, man. Welcome to my world. So you know, no lotion, no cosmetics. You ain't got nothing but just an empty room with a sheet, a blanket, and a make-believe pillow that you use your jumpsuit for. You roll your jumpsuit up, but then now you need a jumpsuit to make warm, so you had to get more creative. I should have brought one, man, but I'd be freestyling because all this shit's so natural. But I'm gonna show y'all in the next video. I'm gonna touch on it again and show y'all. But how do y'all think you make a pillow in the prison when you ain't got nothing? You ain't got no clothes, no nothing, just a jumpsuit, socks, underwear, and t-shirt. How would you make a pillow to put on your head when you need your jumpsuit to keep you warm? All right? Put in the comments what your answers was, because I ain't gonna sit here waiting all day because this is a pre-recorded joint. You know what I mean? Now, the way you make that is you take your toilet paper roll. You know what I mean? And you flatten the toilet paper roll and you put that under your head just to hold your neck up a little bit, because they got you on a vinyl mattress, and that vinyl gets cold. You know what I mean? That vinyl gets cold. So you don't want your neck, because you can't do nothing about your neck, because you got the blanket wrapped up around you. When you lay down, your neck on the joint. So when your neck on the joint, you know what I mean? You put the toilet paper right behind your neck, and that keep your neck up off that vinyl just enough to make, to kind of like straighten out your spinal cord. You know what I mean? This is how I had to live, man. They had me up in this cell for like 30 days, man, maybe 2 months. But look, so it got so bad. You jump up, knock the ice off the slippers, you know what I mean? Throw your feet in them, you run over there to the toilet, and then when you go to the toilet and you gotta sit down, guess what you're sitting on, man? Put it in the comments. You know what I mean? What you think about this? What do you think that you sit on when you go there? You got your nice, porcelain toilet with your plastic seat. You understand what I'm saying? You run over there to the toilet, and the toilet is metal, man. You're in 20 below zero, you gotta sit your ass on a metal goddamn toilet, that cold water running through, so that joint get frozen, and now you gotta sit your ass down on that. But instead of doing that, you kind of like stand up, keep your ass up and your thighs up off that joint, and you stand up and you pointing your joint down, and this is how you're peeing, and the police walking by and he looking at you laughing with your joint in your hand, trying to aim it in the toilet because you ain't trying to piss on the floor, because the toilet already gonna leak on the floor and you ain't trying to walk around in your piss. So you can't sit on the toilet. It's a metal toilet, man. I put in one of my other videos, man. Like I said, I'm going to start editing this and showing you what this looked like. So imagine sitting on a metal toilet. So, we had to get creative for that. And like I said, I keep it 100. Youngins, don't go to prison, man. Stop breaking the law. Listen to your parents. Go to school, get your education, because nobody told me, but I'm telling you. So I got that fake-ass excuse to use, but you can't do it now no more, because we got Unique Mecca Audio telling you. So now, we got to get creative. Like I said, we don't turn socks into sleeves, gloves. You understand what I'm saying? The whole nine. You know what I mean? So now, and the toilet paper into your pillow. I'm giving y'all all the tricks, man. So that now, what we had to do is we take the towel. You know what I mean? Man, I wish I had a towel nearby. We take a towel and you fold the towel, you know what I mean? So that it's about like this thick. You know what I mean? You fold it down and it's long. So you take the towel and you lay it on the toilet. The towel you wash your face and your ass with, and dry up. You take the towel, you lay it on the toilet, and then you fold it over, and then it covers over the part where your thighs go. Now you're sitting on a towel. So you gotta, like me, I'm an old man. I was getting old. My prostate was starting to kick in. So I was going to the bathroom 3, 4, 5 times a night. You know what I mean? I really felt like I had to go 10 times a night, but I'm holding it. But now I gotta leave that towel on that toilet so that I didn't have to sit there standing on that cold ice trying to set that towel up and fold the towel up every time, because you ain't got that convenience when it's 20 below, my nigga. You know what I mean? So don't say I didn't tell you. You know what I mean? This is living in a 20 below zero cell. You know what I mean? Up in the Appalachian Mountains, upstate New York, next to Canada. You know what I mean? Where they used to have the ice sledding and all that freezing ass stuff. So that's why they got it up there. And this is the coldest spot in New York City, man. You know what I mean? So now you go sit on that little towel, but you leave the towel out. So whenever you got to go, you just jump over. You know what I mean? And you're stepping on the ice, and you know what I mean? Every time you're doing that, the ball of your feet, the top of the ball of your feet hitting the top of the slippers, and the bottom of your foot hitting the slippers. And like I said, that joint was frozen because we had to knock the ice off. That fell off like glass. You understand what I'm saying? So now, you go sit out on the toilet and use the bathroom. You don't want to flush it, because if you flush it, it's going to leak, make more water on the floor to make more ice. welcome to my world. You know what I mean? And I'm doing a life sentence. So you know what it's like when I lay down on that goddamn bed at night and I think about, damn, they expect me to die in here. What did I do to deserve this? That's my thoughts. What did I do to deserve this, man? You know what I mean? I ain't gonna mollify it and say it wasn't nothing, but man, I sold drugs, but should I be living like this? This is what they call cruel and inhumane. And there's nobody complaining to about it. And, you know, of course, they put me in the cell with the biggest leak. You know what I mean? They put me in the cell with the biggest leak. So now I'm sitting there, you know, got to jump back and forth from the bed, you know, to the slippers, to this damn toilet. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, it is so cold. And the crazy part is, Ray Book was like this. And I'm not even going to lie. I got there in November 24th, 2006, because that was the day before Thanksgiving. When I got to Raybrook, it was snowing. You know what I mean? When I woke up in the morning, it was snowing. You know what I mean? When I went to bed, it was snowing. You know what I mean? There wasn't a day that I was at Raybrook that snow didn't come out that sky. Challenge me on that. Anybody that been to Raybrook, there's not a day that snow didn't come out that sky. Maybe it was blowing off the buildings because it was so much snow left over, you know? But the crazy part is now, you know what? And that's going to be a whole nother video. I'm going to tell you what I had to do to go eat breakfast in the child hall at Raybrook. You know what I mean? I'm going to tell y'all what we had to do to go eat breakfast in the child hall in Raybrook. You know what I mean? Now, I just leaned over to check the time. Y'all got 26 minutes out of me. Hit the Cash App, man. Hit the Cash App. I don't care if it's $1, $5, $10, $20. Hit the Cash App, man. Support the hustle so I get these cameras and microphones and things ready. And definitely, you know what I mean? Don't forget to cop the book of Rowan Harlem and the audio book at rowanharlem.com and subscribe to Unique Mecca Audio TV. But anyway, so that's what it's like living in the cell up at Raybrook. I lived there for about a month, maybe 2 months. You know what I mean? I can't remember. Let me see. I lived from February to the end of March. You know what I mean? Then they sent me up to Fort Devens, Massachusetts, which is an old mental hospital. You know what I mean? I'm thinking they finally thinking they drove me crazy. They take me up to a mental hospital called Fort Devens, Massachusetts. Now, that's a whole nother experience and a whole nother video if you want to know about what happened in Fort Devens, Massachusetts, man. You know what I mean? That's where they had the boy Wayne K. Gacy or whatever they call him, and Oprah Winfrey was there. You know what I mean? I'm talking about they living like kings up in there. But I'm living in Raybrook for selling drugs, you know what I mean, in a 20 below zero cell with no clothes, no nothing. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, it was so cold, it's like I sweated ice. My underwear's turned to ice while I'm laying up under the joint because my body heat under the joint and me shaking. You know what I mean? But Wayne K. Gacy, he over there living in heaven. You know? Oh, let me tell you about the workout. I got to tell you about the workout. I got to tell you about the workout and how you stay warm too. All right, so now they had rec. You know what? Now I'm going to tell you about the rec on another one. If you want to know what it's like when you go to rec out there, you know what I mean? Put it in the comments. You know, I like to leave you hanging. That's my new thing because I don't want to give y'all too much because the cash apps ain't like they supposed to be. So make them cash apps. People always telling me, let me hit y'all with this. Y'all always tell me, make the videos longer, unique. Y'all, all that is time and money. Give me a little cash app. You know what I mean? Call it begging, but you don't say that it's begging when PBS doing it and NBC doing their fundraiser because they get ready to have their Christmas joint with Jerry Lewis. You know what I mean? Or whoever took over Jerry Lewis that he died. Give me a cash app. We're going to finish these stories. But, listen, man. I'm just getting ready to tap out. Y'all got too much already. Y'all just got 28. Got 28 minutes and 45 seconds. So I'm going to give you a last minute thing. I'm just going to touch on the joint real quick. Let me take my gloves off. You know what I mean? Now, when they take you out the rec, you know what I mean? It's 20 below outside. And they take you outside to go work out in these frozen flip-flops. You had to knock the ice off because you ain't already in a cold cell. They take you to go to rec in a pair of frozen flip-flops. 20 below zero. And the crazy part is, they come get you for rec at 4 o'clock in the morning. They ask you if you want to go to rec. You just barely fell asleep because you're so damn cold. And they ask you if you want to go to rec at 4. And then they want to come back and get you at 5 o'clock, 5:20 after the 5 o'clock count cleared and take you out there when it's still dark and now it feel like it's 40 below. You know what I mean? 40 below. and they want to take you out there to go work out with a pair of flip-flops, a jumpsuit with no goddamn sleeves, because you can't wear these out there. Because if you go out there, you got to get cuffed up behind your back, and they're going to pull the sleeve, your little sleeve off. So you got to take these, and you got to hide them all in your crotch for when you go out there. You understand what I'm saying? Or, sometimes they want to shake you down. You know what I mean? They think you got something. They want you to get butt-ass naked in the cold. You know what I mean? They're going to look up your rectum to see if you smuggling anything out there. And you're going in the cage by yourself. You know what I mean? If you're lucky, they put you with a homie. You know what I mean? So if you youngins want to go through this, keep doing what you're doing. But don't say I ain't tell you. But if you're tough enough to do it, make sure you cop your shirt. You know what I mean? And to shut the F up. And this is what the Ruin Harlem t-shirts look like. Cop the Ruin Harlem t-shirt. Support the hustle at ruinharlem.com. You know what I mean? And you already know, I already told you about the book of Ruin Harlem. The book is fire, so you ain't giving me nothing. You know what I mean? You gaining a lot of wisdom, understanding, and history from this goddamn book. You know what I mean? Cop the book of Ruin Harlem, man. But if you want to hear what it's like going out there working out in 20 below, just hit me up and I'm going to let you know. All right? So don't say I didn't tell you. All right?
Hi guys, welcome to Platinum Cuisines. We're located in Freeport on the Nordica Mile. Just wanted to introduce my partner, Amy.
Hi guys, how are you? And this is my sister-in-law, Diana, another partner. I just ask that you come support our minority-owned business. We serve Asian fusion, Caribbean cuisine, and we have a beautiful restaurant located on the Nautical Mile in Freeport, New York. And we're asking that you come check us out and also make sure to tune in to Mecca Audio TV.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime. Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. An Instagram page and a YouTube you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops. Mecca Audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horning uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, you we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours. So we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And bless up to all the root men.
You know what it is. Just make sure you subscribe at Unique Mecca Audio, man. TV. Unique Mecca Audio TV. I'm tapping out. All right? So don't say that I ain't give y'all what I told you I was gonna give you.